Hello and welcome to this episode of Political Adda. Maharashtra is gearing up for elections as the two major political parties, the Mahavikas Aghadi (MVA) and the Mahayuti, prepared to face each other for the first time in a Vidhan Sabha elections, in assembly elections. So we have with us Dr. Deepak Pawar. He is with Mumbai University, professor of politics. Joining me is my colleague Purva Chitnis from Mumbai. She has been writing about the politics of Maharashtra. Well, without much ado, I will start with the first question to you, Dr. Deepak Pawar. Well, there is, none of the alliances are planning to have a CM face. So far, that's what we know. How big is this issue on both sides? And do you think the Mahayuti alliance has a problem with Shinde being declared the CM as MVA had with Uddhav Thackeray? Because we've not heard much about it.
See, as you rightly said, both the alliances are not declaring any name for the chief minister's post. In fact, for the Mahavikas Aghadi, Uddhav Thackeray kept on talking again and again that there should be some CM candidate, and he in fact tried to persuade the Congress and the NCP to have a chief ministerial candidate. But as we can understand, as we can read between the lines, he did not want any third person to be declared as the chief ministerial candidate. So he wanted to know from his two alliance partners whether he is still their favorite. But the scenario has changed from 2019. So as far as Uddhav Thackeray is concerned, there are two issues that the Mahavikas Aghadi alliance partners may be having in mind. One is whether his party is still going to be the largest alliance partner within Mahavikas Aghadi. If that is going to happen, then only Uddhav Thackeray's name would be considered. Secondly, the way Uddhav Thackeray managed the office of the chief minister. So he got a lot of affection from people during the COVID time for his very people-friendly kind of Facebook lives and his communication with the people. But at the same time, there was a criticism about Uddhav Thackeray that he did not move out of his office, did not move out of his residence. So he was a basically Facebook Live chief minister. That is how Shinde has been describing him for the last 2.5 years. So I'm not surprised that in the Congress, in the Mahavikas Aghadi, they have not decided an alliance chief ministerial candidate, because within the Congress, there are at least 5 to 6 contenders. So they will not be able to narrow down that list. In the NCP, in Sharad Pawar's NCP, JARANGE-PATIL appears to be the front runner, but you never know whether Supriya Sule also might join the race if NCP becomes the largest partner within the MVA alliance. Now, as far as Mahayuti is concerned, as you rightly said, Shinde was given the chief minister's post for two reasons. One is basically that, according to him, he did the kind of rebellion within his party, which basically brought down the Mahavikas Aghadi government and brought the Mahayuti into power. But the most important thing, I believe, is within the BJP, the politics within the BJP, and the powers to be in Delhi wanted to cut Devendra Fadnavis down to size. And that is one of the reasons they pushed him to become the deputy chief minister. Now you can imagine the kind of disappointment with Mr. Fadnavis, that he was the chief minister of the state for 5 years. He could not become the chief minister again because the yuti between the BJP and the Shiv Sena did not work out. And now when the Mahayuti government has come to power, he has been forced to accept the deputy chief minister's post. So it is more of a problem within the BJP than between the Mahayuti partners. Now, in last 2.5 years, you will see that Shinde has tried to establish himself mostly by pumping in huge amount of money in his constituencies, and also those constituencies where he wants to tilt the vote in favor of his alliance partners. So Shinde has what probably other people do not have, is spending money like anything. So a lot of people are saying that there is going to be a filthy show of money in this particular Vidhan Sabha election. As far as Ajit Dada is concerned, obviously Ajit Dada has been saying that he has been the deputy chief minister of the state for the longest period of time. But that seems to be a kind of jinxed position. So he wants to become the chief minister. Looking at the present scenario, it is very difficult to say whether Dada's party will be able to survive this election. So it is almost out of question that he would be considered for the chief minister's post. As far as Devendra Fadnavis being reinstated as the leader of Mahayuti is concerned, it is basically a dual battle about all those rivals of Devendra Fadnavis whom he has silenced from 2014, whether they are able to realign, regroup, and fight against him within the BJP of Maharashtra. And secondly, how Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah perceive him as the state leader, and when they want to pick him up at the national level. If they plan to pick him up at the national level, maybe they will ask him to surrender his ambition for becoming the chief minister. So that is how I overall look at the scenario of the candidature not being decided so far.
Right. Purva, you have been reporting from Maharashtra for quite some time. What are the key issues that both these alliances are raising, and at the same time, we are seeing ticket distribution the way it has taken place. Congress has also announced its tickets for Maharashtra. How do you see? Do you think that there is likely to be some rebellion within both the alliances? And at the same time, what are the key issues that both of them are looking at?
Right. So if we look at, if you don't have to go that far, but just at Lok Sabha, during Lok Sabha, there was this national narrative of CANRC, or even the constitution was a big issue at that point of time. And then in Maharashtra, at Maharashtra level, there was a Maratha versus OBC Maratha reservation issue. And all of this combined kind of helped and propelled MVA to get the kind of seats that they got. Like for Mahayuti, coming down to 17 was a shock for them as well. But since then, like what we have seen since June 4th result itself, the narrative has sort of kind of changed, and Mahayuti looks like, at least at this point, it looked like it did some kind of damage control, because after the results of Lok Sabha, it was all predicted that this is how Vidhan Sabha will also go. Maha Vikas Aghadi leaders were also, in fact, as reporters, we speak to a lot of leaders, and even source-based information that they tell us. Within Mahavikas Aghadi, there were even discussions of who will get which cabinet. It had come to that level that they were so confident about coming back to power in Maharashtra. But in the last 1.5 months, especially after the budget, which was in July, when popular schemes were announced, like Ladki Bahin Yojana, and for youth, there were certain schemes that were announced. And since then, the cabinet decisions that took over, be it the toll-free Mumbai entry-exit, that decision, and many such decisions which came by, it looked like Mahayuti has kind of done damage control as far as their performance from Lok Sabha is concerned. So it isn't really what looks like what it is going to be, like one-sided Mahavikas Aghadi election. But yes, so the Mahayuti will be basing their performance on these popular schemes. And as far as the issues are concerned for Mahavikas Aghadi, for them, they will be trying to put it on the industries going to Gujarat, then the deteriorating law and order situation in the state, and also the Marathi versus Gujarati pride that is coming in, and also the Dharavi being given to Adani. That is also one of the issues that the MVA is picking up on. Now, how these issues will actually come out and play, and because now there's just like few days remaining for campaign, we're seeing that the seat sharing is also not completely done. Neither of the alliances has come out and declared a formula yet. They are giving out the candidates who are kind of fixed, and they are declaring those names, but the actual seat sharing is not yet done. So it's still time. People will withdraw some of the names, or whether there will be rebels who will stand up as well. So post that, there will be just like about 2 weeks to campaign. So how these issues will be played on ground, that needs to be seen as well.
Dr. Deepak, you must have seen, Purva just talked about the Ladki Bahin scheme, which is similar
Yes.
to what the Madhya Pradesh government under Shivraj Singh Chauhan had launched in Madhya Pradesh, the Ladli Bahin scheme. Do you think that, though it worked in Madhya Pradesh and, the party won by a huge majority, do you think it will have an impact on the voters in Maharashtra? Because BJP has been promoting it extensively. In fact, the Maharashtra government has been promoting it extensively.
See, as far as the Ladki Bahin Yojana is concerned, it will definitely help the Mahayuti. But to what extent it will help is we need to see, because most of the women in so many lakhs of families in Maharashtra, they have got at least 4,500 rupees in their bank account. In fact, more, but minimum 4,500 rupees they have received. And coincidentally, all the three major stakeholders are their brothers. Okay,
Right.
Mr. Shinde, Mr. Ajit Pawar, and Devendra Fadnavis. So you will find that three of them are campaigning in last 3 months as if this is the only brother who is taking care of his sisters across Maharashtra. So there is Mukhyamantri Ladki Bahin Yojana campaign which has been run by the government of Maharashtra. Then there is a campaign which is specifically run by Mr. Shinde for his own party. Then there is a campaign, audio-visual campaign run by Ajit Pawar, where the ladies in the house are saying that Ajit Dada has given this. And then nearer elections, you will find full-page ads have been given by the Bharatiya Janata Party, where for the first time, Devendra Fadnavis has been called as Deva Bhau. And in fact, in one of his rallies, Devendra Fadnavis very clearly said that he would like women in the state to call him Deva Bhau, because that is that word explains affection. So on the one hand, all the three parties, they are trying to get maximum advantage for themselves. Secondly, the Mahavikas Aghadi constituents, they keep talking about Ladki Bahin along with safety of women. So their argument is you are giving money to women, but what about safety of women? But if you look at the campaign that the Mahavikas Aghadi partners have run for last 2 to 3 months, apart from the Badlapur incidents and few incidences across the state, they are not able to build a parallel narrative of women's security vis-a-vis this particular populist politics of direct bank transfers, which they are not able to basically challenge in a very, very clear manner. One thing, JARANGE-PATIL and Prithviraj Chauhan, they have said that this money is given to women. But at the same time, you need to make budgetary allocation. There has to be budgetary head. And only when you make proper budgetary allocation, it would be easier to give money to women. That apart, these people, the Mahavikas Aghadi leaders, are not able to convincingly tell the women electorate, one, whether they want to continue. If they want to discontinue for whatever reason, what is going to be the reason, and what is the parallel thing that they are going to offer. Now, we can definitely call this as corrupting the voter, because this is what last 4 months Mahayuti's policies are all about. But it is not only political leaders who are trying to corrupt the electorate, it is the electorate which is willing to get corrupted. So it is not only women, it is youth. Now, government of Maharashtra has started Tirtha Yatra Yojana, and they are sending people to various religious destinations. And they have, in a way, taken the help of major Marathi celebrities who are campaigning about this particular Tirtha Yatra campaign. So the important thing is all these populist schemes, they may be economically completely unviable. They might completely ruin the state's economic health. But neither the Mahavikas Aghadi nor the Mahayuti are able to present a very comprehensive parallel narrative. If they don't present a parallel narrative, then probably Ladki Bahin Yojana becomes a kind of temptation for women given much more in advance than the electoral period. So it is very difficult, it is going to be very difficult for the Mahavikas Aghadi people to tell women that you take money, but don't vote for Mahayuti. Political parties keep doing that. But otherwise, political parties give money at the individual level or at the party level. This is the time when the government is actually giving money on a monthly basis. So in one family, if there are 2 or 3 eligible women, and as Ajit Pawar in one of the programs said, that not all money has gone to eligible women. Women in the family who are having 20 to 30 acres of land, they are also beneficiaries of Ladki Bahin Yojana. So women with good economic standing, they are also keen on getting the government money because it is coming as it is. So I think that is going to be a major challenge for the Mahavikas Aghadi. And obviously, if the Mahayuti comes to power, the bigger challenge for them will be to continue to keep the promise even after the electoral results.
Yeah, Purva, you wanted to ask.
Yeah, so on the same narrative issue that we are on right now, this Ladki Bahin scheme and a lot of other cabinet decisions that came in, which are very popular. So, do you think that this time around, Mahayuti has done its damage control well? Or Vikas Aghadi, especially with the seat sharing formula, that what we just saw in the last 1 week, that there was a lot of bickering between the alliance partners, especially the Shiv Sena, Uddhav Balsaheb Thackeray, as well as the Congress. And there was, it looked like the unity that they had in Lok Sabha, that has somewhat shifted or changed. At least that's what the perception on the perception battle, that is what it is looking like. So in terms of narrative and perception, do you think Mahayuti is better placed, or Mahavikas Aghadi and Mahayuti both are on the same front? It's just that one alliance is looking weaker and one alliance is looking stronger.
See, during the Lok Sabha election, when the campaigning started, it was about 400 par at the national level. And in Maharashtra, the campaign was about 45 plus. So Devendra Fadnavis kept on saying that there are no rivals, there are no opponents. We are going to crush the Mahavikas Aghadi. And when some hyperactive BJP members in some other states talked about changing the constitution, that created the problem for the BJP. The so-called fake narrative that Maharashtra BJP leaders and Mahayuti leaders keep talking now is not the fake narrative that Mahayuti has started. It's the narrative that the BJP leaders started because they thought it is going to give them electoral advantage. But it was only during the second or third phase of campaigning that they realized that this is going to backfire. Maybe that is one reason that elections in smaller states are now conducted in 2 to 3 phases. An election in Maharashtra is conducted in 1 phase. You can, I think the most pitiable system here is the election commission. In the Lok Sabha, 48 Lok Sabha constituencies, they had election in 5 phases and they justified that. Now they are having elections in 288 constituencies in 1 phase and they are still justifying that. So I think, how does Mr. Rajiv Kumar and his team get this kind of confidence? I am really not sure. But the point is, Mahayuti tried to do the damage control. And if you look at the various GRs, around 230 GRs they have come out with in the last month. That includes appointment to various commissions, including language culture commissions, commissions like Anna Bhau Sathe Mahamandal, commissions in some other ministries. Technically, this is not correct. When elections are about to be announced or elections are already being announced, a lot of GRs were signed backdated and they were declared. So if tomorrow Mahayuti does not come to power, Mahavikas Aghadi should be doing the first thing to cancel all these GRs and basically create a level playing field for themselves. But as far as Mahayuti's populist politics is concerned, they are basically one step ahead of Mahavikas Aghadi in promising things to people. So out of the 12 12 Rajyapal governor appointed legislators, they appointed 7. So 7 problematic elements or 7 aspirants have been taken care of. But five seats have been maintained vacant because probably they have promised these seats to some other people. If Mahayuti comes to power in November and some people who were guaranteed Vidhan Sabha could not get Vidhan Sabha, or who contested Vidhan Sabha but somehow lost Vidhan Sabha, some of them may be accommodated in this particular manner. So definitely Mahayuti is doing damage control in a very nice manner. Secondly, they are pumping money like anything. Ajit Dada, if you look at his Jana Sanman Yatra and the kind of, in Mr. Modi's word, the kind of revenues that he is throwing across to people, the same thing Mr. Shinde is doing, same thing Bharatiya Janata Party is doing. Compared to that, all the three opponents in Mahavikas Aghadi, it's not that they may not be having money. The Congress, Sharad Pawar's NCP and Uddhav Thackeray's Shiva Sena, they have enjoyed power for a long time. So it is now their turn to basically spend money for their candidates. You can't keep saying that they are in power, therefore they can spend money, and we are not in power, therefore we can't spend money. They need to spend money because one Vidhan Sabha, forget the electoral stat, forget the monetary details that candidates give to the election commission. All of us know that one Vidhan Sabha costs around 20 to 25 crore rupees. If one Vidhan Sabha is going to cost this much money, either you need to borrow it from somebody or somebody has to invest it in you. It may be the local financial capital guy, or it may be your party. If Mahayuti members are doing it successfully, I think even Mahavikas Aghadi has to do it, because it is all said and done, it is not a game of ethics and principles.
Right.
All said and done, it is the game of pumping more money and reaching the electorate.
Dr. Pawar, another issue that has been talked about is the Maratha reservation issue, and this has been raised by MANOJ JARANGE-PATIL, who played a crucial sort of role in Lok Sabha, where MVA could get most of the seats in Marathwada region. But now JARANGE-PATIL has put up his own candidate. So who will it impact the votes? How will it get split, Mahayuti or MVA?
Now see, when JARANGE-PATIL's agitation started in Antarwali Sarati before the Lok Sabha elections, most of the people kept on saying that all this is Sharad Pawar's doing. Because in Maharashtra, there is generally a saying that if you are not able to identify who is behind a particular activity, people keep pointing out at Sharad Pawar and keep saying that it is his invisible hand which is basically doing the thing. But over the period of last 1 year, if you notice, it appears that Mr. Jarange and Mr. Shinde are on good terms. So Mr. Jarange and Mr. Shinde share a good rapport through their emissaries, through the back channel diplomacy. It is true that during the Lok Sabha election, there were a lot of problems for the BJP. Rao Sahib Danve lost the election, Pankaj Munde lost the election. But we need to understand that in the same region of the earlier Aurangabad and now Sambhajinagar, Sandipan Bhumre of Eknath Shinde's party did get elected. So if these guys have lost the election, how is it that Sandipan Bhumre from Eknath Shinde's party could win the election? It means that there is some sort of a tacit understanding between one of the partners of Mahayuti and JARANGE-PATIL. It appears that in last few months, Jarange has zeroed in on his rival, and that is Devendra Fadnavis. So within the Mahayuti, it is Devendra Fadnavis because he is the Brahmin face of the Mahayuti. Chhagan Bhujbal is the OBC face of the Mahayuti, and Lakshman Hake, who is basically like a stooge of Mr. Chhagan Bhujbal, according to JARANGE-PATIL. But these are the people he has been very critical about. But he keeps talking about Mahavikas Aghadi also. Then he criticized Sharad Pawar and said that he did not do anything. He criticized the Congress also. But now JARANGE-PATIL probably is reaching a particular point in his agitational career or political career where he has to make up his mind and decide whether he has to select one single candidate for a constituency, his own candidate, or he has to decide to support a particular candidate. So now he said yesterday that I will wait for the final list of Mahavikas Aghadi and Mahayuti to be to come before the people, and then he will give his candidates. And immediately there was a response from the BJP spokesperson, Praveen Darekar. He said that if Mr. Jarange wants Marathas to succeed, we have no problem. If Mr. Jarange is careful, is very clear about Maratha reservation, we have no problem. But if he is going to have candidates only to support the candidates of Mahavikas Aghadi and cut down into the votes of the Mahayuti, then we have a problem. So I think some sort of a proxy war is now going on between second-rung leaders of the BJP and Mr. Jarange, because the top leaders of the Mahayuti would not like to speak against Jarange when there is tremendous heat of the electoral campaign. So Mr. Fadnavis has maintained studied silence, but when Darekar speaks or Prasad Lad speaks, it is as good as Mr. Fadnavis speaking. When Chhagan Bhujbal maintains silence, but somebody else from the NCP speaks, it is as good as Ajit Dada speaking. So I think second, third rung leaders of Mahayuti are trying to negotiate with Jarange. And for Mr. Jarange also, it is not going to be an easy task, because all his regular fast unto death that he has been involved into is one sort of action. Getting into politics, managing booths for the candidate is going to be a very, very difficult task. So if Mr. Jarange does not play his cards well, he might end up exposing his limitations before the major political parties. And I'm sure he doesn't want to do that, because he wants to maintain his stance like, let us play electoral politics for a while because this is the moment. But let us not stop all our or put all our energy in that. We will also wait for the next government to give us a reservation. Now that is the tricky issue. It is not possible to get reservation for Marathas from among the OBCs without having serious crisis in Maharashtra politics. So I think all political parties are bidding for their time. And in fact, I think opposition political parties are very happy that they are in the opposition when Jarange is fighting with the government, because otherwise he would have been fighting with them and they would have had to do some kind of damage control. But for Mr. Jarange, as well as slum sleeper cells of OBC politics, they also are going to have a very tough time in this particular election.
Now, speaking about JARANGE-PATIL, and also this is sort of kind of finally the last question that I would like to ask. The third front that is emerging, be it Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi, Prakash Ambedkar's VBA, or AIMIM factor, and then there are smaller parties like Bachchu Kadu's, then Raju Shetty, and Raj Thakre's MNS also getting a lease of life once again. Look, with Amit Thakre coming into electoral politics, his son Amit Thakre coming into electoral politics. So how is the third front going to look like, and how damaging it will be for MVA, because we know that or Mahayuti at some points, but mostly for MVA, that is with the third front coming, the AIMIM or even the Ambedkar's VBA coming, and Raj Thakre. How much damage it will cause to the opposition, and how much damage it will be to the Mahayuti?
See, Raj Thakre's political party, or Raj Thakre himself, made it very public during the Lok Sabha campaign that he is giving unconditional support to the Mahayuti and basically the BJP. And he said, I am not giving this particular support because of other leaders. I am giving it only because of Mr. Modi. Now, we all can read between the lines, and we know that there is more truth to this than this unconditional support. So the same Raj Thakre, who spoke about Lavre video in 2019 and brought out all the mistakes of the BJP government, NDA government in 2019, suddenly went silent, and suddenly went silent to such an extent that decided not to contest. If you try to replay the speech that he gave at Shivaji Park, where he tried to convince his cadre why he is not contesting Lok Sabha election, Raj Thakre is a very good orator. But if you listen to his speech again, you will find that he's trying to convince himself. He's not convincing his cadre. He's convincing himself why he is not in a position to contest. And in the meanwhile, Raj Thackeray started from the farmer wearing jeans and creating a kind of Maharashtra of which the world will be proud of. From there, he has gone to loudspeakers outside masjids. So this is not change of discourse. This is complete opportunism. And Raj Thackeray has now contesting around 40 to 50 seats. And his son is going to begin his political career from Mahim. We need to find out, and that we would be able to find out by the time all the candidates are going to withdraw their applications. So that by that time we will realize why Raj Thackeray is not contesting from Thane, which is the bastion of the BJP and Eknath Shinde's party. So why is he not contesting? So whether he is contesting only from those areas where his candidates are going to create problem for the Mahavikas Aghadi. Now, if that is going to happen, it may be a scenario where on the face of it, Raj Thackeray says that I am against Mahayuti, I am against Mahavikas Aghadi. On this Dasara, Raj Thackeray said that you have to make me chief minister and my party should come to power. Now everybody knows that if your party is going to contest around 60 to 70 seats, and even if your party wins all the seats, which is not going to be the case with Maharashtra Navnirman Sena, still you can't become the chief minister unless you become part of some alliance. So you have to make up your mind about which alliance you want to join. So I think Raj Thackeray is trying to play his cards. I am not sure very well. Okay, I think the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena is on a downslide, and he has given up his core agenda, and that is going to be disastrous for the party. As far as Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi is concerned, now Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi and Prakash Ambedkar, they have successfully confused not only Mahayuti and Mahavikas Aghadi, but also their electorate. So it is very difficult for the Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi electorate to find out whether this is going to be a conglomerate of Dalits, Muslims, Adivasis, OBCs, or this is again going to be a party of the Dalits, whether they are into the market for cutting down the votes of Mahayuti and Mahavikas Aghadi, or whether they have some other agenda. Right. As far as Bachchu Kadu, Raju Shetty, Ravikant Tupkar and other people are concerned, I think their game is only for few seats. Definitely they will affect certain seats. For example, Bachchu Kadu in the last legislature, he was there along with one more candidate from Prahar Party. Now that person from the Prahar Party, the other MLA, had shifted his allegiance to Eknath Shinde's party. So now Bachchu Kadu is the only member of his party. It is like Ravi Rana's party, where Ravi Rana himself is not a member of the party. So we need to understand that these smaller groups, they are there only to eat into those votes in the respective constituencies, and maybe they will bargain. But they will bargain with two kinds of things. One, if they want to bargain monetarily, then Mahayuti is definitely going to be their first preference. And if they want to have some kind of a bigger stake, probably they might think of joining hands with the Mahavikas Aghadi. But I'm sure in at least 20 to 30 constituencies, Raj Thackeray's party, Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi, Raju Shetty's group, Ravikant Tupkar and other people's group, Prahar, they are going to have at least few thousand votes. Now, if a Lok Sabha constituency result can change by 48 votes, Ravindra Vaikar won against Amol Kirtikar just by the margin of 48. It's going to be a very tough competition, and the last mile difference is going to be a very, very serious trouble for the Mahayuti and Maha Alliance, Mahavikas Aghadi. I hope that they continue campaigning, both the groups continue campaigning till the end, and basically open up their boxes for the electorate if their ideological agenda is not enough, because I think this probably is a very clear illustration of the fact in Maharashtra that this is completely a de-ideologized election. There is no ideology. Let Mahavikas Aghadi talk about secularism, let Mahayuti talk about Hindutva pride, but there is no ideology, because members of the same family are in 3-4 different parties. Somebody who was in party A in 2019 has traveled a long way by shifting allegiance to 3 to 4 parties. And then now he or she has reached some position at this point. Just take the example of Sandeep Naik. His father is in BJP and got ticket from Airoli in Navi Mumbai. Sandeep Naik, who is his son, says that I am not happy with the BJP. I went there for Vikas. I went there for development, and now I have come back to Sharad Pawar's party because I think Sharad Pawar's party is going to. So the whole word Vikas, if I may use the Hindi term, the term Vikas khokhla ban gaya hai. The whole word development and Vikas has become completely fossilized. So there is no Vikas in mind. It is only personal Vikas. It is only family Vikas. It is only fiefdom Vikas. And it is basically complete institutionalization of lack of ideology. This is what this election is going to be all about.
Sir, one last question from my end before we wrap up. We've taken a lot of your time. You must have seen how the BJP performed in Haryana, and I have been talking to the central leadership, and they are saying that, that has also given them some sort of an impetus to perform better in Maharashtra. Do you think the Haryana win is also going to have some psychological impact as far as the parties are concerned, and do you think it also matters to Maharashtra?
To some extent, it is going to have some impact because the way Aam Aadmi Party, Bahujan Samaj Party, and Dushyant Chautala's party, and even independents, they got sizable percentage of votes, and that basically tilted the balance in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Right.
It also tells the Congress and the Mahavikas Aghadi that you can't have dominant caste-based politics anywhere, because if the dominant caste is hegemonic in nature, you are going to have parallel narratives by other caste combinations. So in a way, it was good that the Congress lost in Haryana so that they will think twice about their strategy in Maharashtra. But BJP should also understand one thing, that Haryana is very close to Delhi. And therefore, the Delhi's North India mindset can impact Haryana easily. Maharashtra is almost 2,000 kilometers away. Maharashtra has a different narrative, different landscape, different cultural landscape, and Haryana and Maharashtra is 4 times bigger, almost 3 times bigger than Haryana. So,
definitely,
getting Haryana would be a kind of booster dose for the BJP, but Haryana is not Maharashtra. So, the way BJP has destroyed 2 major political parties in Maharashtra, the way they have purchased political leaders in this state, and the way ED action has been vaporized just the next day when somebody joins the BJP. People have short memory, but not so short that they will forget all the demons of 2019 and 2022. I think BJP should remember that particular thing as well.
Right. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Purva, for joining us and for this wonderful discussion. I'm sure our viewers would have understood Maharashtra politics much more with this insight that you gave us. Thank you so much for
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.